Apollo 13 was a team effort from the very beginning to the end.
Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here.
Go, guidance.
We've had a hardware restart. I don't know what it was.
Okay. Houston, we've had a problem.
When the crew threw the switches to start the cryo stir, a spark jumped between the fan and the heater assembly, and the pressure in that tank rose very rapidly because the insulation had been damaged on the system. And we now had a fire inside the tank that blew the dome of the tank off.
That main B bus undervolt.
That series of events started the saga of Apollo 13.
And we had a pretty large bang associated with the caution and warning there.
The exact words I used in mission control is, "We have never lost an American in space, and we sure as hell aren't going to lose one now. This crew is coming home. You got to believe it. Your team must believe it, and we must make it happen."
It looks to me you're looking out the hatch, so we are inventing something.
When we suddenly realized the true significance of the explosion, seeing the oxygen escape from the rear of my spacecraft and consequently losing all the electrical power and the propulsion system, we knew we were in serious trouble.
Have you called in your backup ECOMs now? See if we can get some more brain power in this
We
thing?
got one here.
Roger.
Throughout the entire Apollo 13 mission, the teams in mission control changed shifts almost regularly at 8-hour intervals. And the teams kept the mission going, kept working the problem as my teams tried to come up with the answers.
Go ahead, Flight. I want you to get some guys figuring out minimum power in the LEM to sustain life.
Fortunately, the lunar module was attached to us, and when that occurred, with oxygen almost gone in the command module, we transferred the command to the lunar module and tried to use it somehow, some way, as a lifeboat to get home.
Let's solve the problem, but let's not make it any worse by guessing.
I got a lot of recognition for the work that we did, but the real heroes of Apollo 13 were the people in the back rooms and over in the engineering facilities who came up with the answers we needed.
We never talked among ourselves about not making it back home. It was like playing a game of solitaire. As long as we had a card and we could put it someplace, the game kept going. And every crisis that we came up to, we found a solution. As we rounded the moon, and my two companions looked at the place where we were supposed to land, and they were very much disappointed. I said, "We're on our way home. Let's get home successfully and forget about the landing."
And there's one whole side of that spacecraft missing.
Is that right?
The whole panel is blown out, almost from the base to the engine. It's really a mess. Man, that's unbelievable. I've got it.
Okay, copy that. Farewell, Aquarius, and we thank you.
Apollo 13 has to rate with anything we ever do because it took a great deal of ingenuity, a great deal of preparation, years of preparation, a lot of guts on the part of the astronauts themselves to bring that off.
Odyssey Houston standing by, over.
Apollo 13, this is recovery, over. The recovery, Apollo 13 is descending. Under Apollo 13, this is recovery, and your chutes look good.
And so you have to say that Apollo 13 was a fantastic moment in the history of manned spaceflight.
I will tell you that we had one of the most bodacious splashdown parties that I can remember when those guys got back.
Looking straight. 20 feet. 10. 3 feet per second. Contact now. 2 stop. Auto. We're on the surface. Okay, we made a good landing. Roger, and
You might recognize what I have in my hand as the
signal for the contingency sample return. It just so happens to have a genuine 6 iron on the bottom of it. I'm going to try a little sand trap shot here.
And if the band you're in starts playing different tunes,
Miles and miles and miles.
you're on the dark side of the moon.
Come on out here and give me a salute. Big Navy salute.
Charlie, set form.
Oh, Stephen. How about that? I'm going out for the ballet when I get back. You learn another line of work up here. John, you're just beautiful. That is the most beautiful sight.
What's that?
You're standing there on the rim of that crater.
Doggone, I've never heard John described as beautiful.
No? Well, he's not real. Well, actually he is on this thing, I'll tell you. He's a big rooster tail out of all 4 wheels, and as he turns, he skids. The back end breaks loose just like on snow.
Hot Rod Lincoln.
Now, I tell you, I can't see to the bottom of it, and I'm as close to the edge as I'm going to get.
All the different steps and all the different pieces of hardware, and all of it had to work. And it's just inconceivable that we could do something like that. The motivation was, well, it ain't gonna be my part that screws up, I want to get it right. And apparently everybody else felt the same way, and we did it, and did it, and did it, and did it.
Look out, baby, now here I come. I'm bringing you with love that's true. Get ready.
Apollo 17 was probably one of the more interesting missions because we had a real geologist there, and they landed in a wonderfully interesting place.
The Valley of Torres Strait was picked as a landing site for a couple different reasons. Number one, it was in an area of the moon we had never even come close to, and it was a valley some 20 miles long and 5 miles across, which was literally surrounded by mountains higher than the Grand Canyon is deep.
Yeah, 1.2 kilometers is a long way from the limb. Look at the Challenger down there. Make you get a feel for how big this valley really is. I'd rather not. Holy smoly! Why are we on a slope? No, dadgummit.
Hey, Gene, would you go over and help twinkle toes, please, Gene?
Really?
We stopped, obviously, at a lot of different planned places, and we did everything from drilling core samples to setting up experiments to drilling trenches and so forth.
There is orange soil. Well, don't move it till I see it.
And I thought, okay, this scientist has been on the moon too long. He's been breathing too much oxygen. There's not going to be any orange soil.
Hey, it is! I can see it from here. It's orange.
We not only did a lot of work on the moon, but we had a good time. And you know you're only going to come that way once in your life.
I was strolling on the moon one day in the merry, merry month of December. No, May.
I just looked around, and knowing we were leaving, no, we weren't coming back, and I said, we now leave as we once came, and God willing, as we shall return.
This valley of history has seen mankind complete its first evolutionary steps into the universe, leaving the planet Earth and going forward into the universe. No more significant contribution has Apollo made to history.
This American pie drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was
Right away, Houston.
them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die.